Hello everyone. I'm just going to do a little overview of Arslan Musou. I've been getting a few requests for this. So first, the features. You have the story mode. The story mode is pretty accurate retelling of the anime series. It only has a couple of scenarios that feel a little switched up and a little additions, you know, for gameplay purposes, but the story mode is a really good retelling of the anime, and I think it's one of the better story modes that Koei's ever done, especially in their anime crossover games. It lasts roughly, I would say, 5 hours. I was skipping scenes due to the language barrier, and I've already seen the anime, so I would rather wait than maybe watch it when the game comes out in English. But about 5 hours of gameplay, more or less. I would say with the scenes, you're probably more in the 7 to 10 hour range. And I was moving pretty fast through the story as well, so I would say that on average the story mode is going to be about 7 to 10 hours for most people if you watch all the scenes and play at a more standard pace. One interesting thing about the story mode is that you will constantly be switching character perspectives. Normally in warrior games you play from either the character you select or you play from maybe a certain group or whatever, but you'll be switching perspectives mostly between Arslan and his crew, but there's a couple other scenarios where you'll play as some other characters. Okay, next up we have free mode. Free mode is basically where you're going to spend all your time after you finish story mode. In free mode you have all the story mode missions, which is the first couple pages here, including the tutorial, and then you also have your extra stories. You have two pages here of extra stories. These are where you're going to get characters' other weapons and just see a variety of other gameplay challenges and such. Some of these missions are really unique. One of them's like a stealth mission. There's some that will just have you fighting pretty much infinite swarms of enemies and stuff like that, so they're all pretty interesting missions. You also have DLC missions. Currently they have one DLC mission released, and they're releasing them roughly every 7 days in Japan right now, so I'm not sure exactly how many missions they'll have when they're done. But so far this first DLC mission, it was interesting, but it was pretty short, and the next one announced is supposed to be like a boss rush battle arena, so hopefully these DLC missions will help fill out and add more variety to the mission selections. Let me just talk about the prep menu. So the top one is where you're going to select your mission. You can choose your character. When choosing your character, you can press triangle to, if they have different costumes, you can cycle through. So let me just pick one random character here. I'll pick Arslan. Here you can just look at different statistics and what you have equipped. Here is your weapon. You can choose what order your weapons are in, which will affect how you do your charge shift combos. They'll cycle in order from that you put them in. And then here is where you can change the moveset. This is basically like skill books or martial art books, or I forget the official term, but basically as you level the weapon up, if you see it has little diamonds in the bottom left, as you level the weapon up you will level the movesets up and unlock new ones. So basically once you max out a weapon, all the movesets will be level 10 and unlocked. Now those crystals will not affect how many moves you can actually use in your strings. You won't have your full access of your strings. The strings will be gained through leveling up, and once you reach level 20, that is when you'll be able to fully use the whole entire strings. Otherwise it will be grayed out. Like, let me go to a character that I have not learned everything with yet. Most of my characters I have at level 20. So you see, for instance, him right here, a lot of his moveset is grayed out. I forget the exact levels at which you learn new abilities, but you learn them pretty quickly. I would say early on you learn a lot of stuff quickly, and then there's like a kind of a level gap between learning the very last stuff, which will happen at level 20. So after this you have your cards. This is pretty much the meat of the customization and what you're gonna be spending a lot of time collecting in this game. This is a pretty significant chunk of the extra content and customization in the game. So here you can just kind of equip whatever cards you want. You'll have various stats like attack, defense, and health and stuff like that. But if you go down here at the bottom, you have sets, and these are kind of themed around the anime or just whatever. Equipping these sets, if you see on the right, they'll give a lot of extra skills as opposed to just equipping 3 random cards. So while you may be able to come up with really effective combinations without using these pre-made sets, these pre-made sets are really strong, and you'll probably spend a lot of time using them unless you're really looking for something specific in your skill set. Here we have the card fusion. Here you can just pretty much throw down cards, and generally you should expect to get a higher rank card. Sometimes you won't. So you see I fused a bunch of C's and I got a B rank. But that's generally how it works, and that's how you're gonna have to get S rank cards. Is by you want to try to fuse all rank A's, maybe a lot of rank A's and a couple rank B's. But even then you may not always get an S rank. Here you can just sell cards or look at cards. Here we have the recipe books. I have to admit I do not know exactly what recipes do. I have not exactly found any info online about what they do, but it looks like they give you maybe temporary battle effects. Like let's say if I eat one here, you see how it looks like a bunch of effects are popping up, which maybe aid me in the next battle or so. I will definitely give more info on that when I figure out how it works, but I don't know. I've been looking around. Here you have your options. You can change your difficulty, camera settings, stuff like that. Okay, so let's start a mission up. Let me switch over to Arslan. You can change your BGMs, pressing triangle, choosing whatever BGM you want. The load screen is fairly long. Here you can see like results from previous playthroughs, like your ranks you got or who you've done the best with and stuff like that. Okay, so now into the mission. The controls are pretty standard if you're familiar with Warriors games. So you have square, triangle, square, 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 triangle, and so on. Square, 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 triangle. Some of your movesets will extend into multiple triangle presses, like you see in my square, 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 triangle string. I can do triangle, triangle. So pretty standard there. L1 is your guard. While holding L1 and pressing a direction, you can roll. You must be holding L1 first before you press the direction in order to get the roll to come out. L2 will call your horse. Holding it and you'll get directly on the horse. Okay, R1, I have to have meter for. I need to go beat some enemies. Your R1 attacks in this game use your special bar. It doesn't use a lot, but it still uses it, so I guess this is kind of their way of balancing the R1 techniques compared to like a game like One Piece, where you can freely use them all you want. The R1 techniques in this are, they either tend to be really useful or really useless from what I've found. Arslan's R1, right here, I don't use it much at all, to be honest. I don't find it all that effective. But there may be additional properties to it that I don't fully know. Okay, so X, you have jump, triangle, your charge attacks. Now, during a charge attack, if you press R1, you can charge shift. Okay, so let me pause this real quick. I'm probably gonna have to break this video into 2 parts because of the PS4 time limit, so I'm gonna stop right here.